a few sessions that we have been waiting for, we'll have a very enlightening session on Indian product roadmap and vision by Mr. Ravi Gururaj, Chairman, NASSCOM Product Council and Chairman CEO QikPod. Ravi, can you come on stage? Ravi has over 26 years of experience in the technology market, management and exposure. He's the chairman of the council, as I mentioned. He has recently transitioned back into entrepreneurial role to build a world-class product and logistics startup headquartered in Bangalore. Ravi is founder of 6 technology ventures and mentor to numerous entrepreneurs. Ravi, we look forward to a session now.
So, how's everybody feeling? It's been a long day, I'm sure, for most of you. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of the work we're doing at NASSCOM that touches the product ecosystem, and introduce you to a couple of programs that will be of interest to some of y'all. Because sometimes, we may not be exposing some of the good programs that are available to startups that, we're working on. So before I do that, I just wanted to give you, at the Product Council, and Kamal is a member of the Product Council as well from Kolkata, from the Eastern region. These are the 5 areas we work on. We try to evangelize the product industry. We build landscapes. And this is something, if you're a product company, you should try to get into our landscapes, because a lot of big companies, VCs, investors, even the press, are all using these landscapes for to understand who's where and what are the startups in the industry, right? We do a lot of enterprise connects. This is connecting startups to large buyers. We do a lot of work on policy. You may not hear about a lot of this, and some of it doesn't have instant results because working with the government takes time. But almost on every policy that relates to products, startups, the government will ask NASSCOM to comment, to give feedback, to give guidance. And it's the council members who will often have to read those drafts and give suggestions, help draft some language, all of that. And then lastly, on the skills, and I'll talk about skills in one of the programs we're going to talk about next. We also have product conclaves. You're at one of those. We have a big one in Bangalore. We have very big ones even in Kolkata and all the regions. So the NPCs. We do the Emerge 50 awards. This has been going on for almost 10 years now. So if you're a product company and you have something that you feel would get significant mileage from being covered by the Merge 50, please apply. The applications are open right as we speak. We put together these landscapes that I've talked about earlier. Enterprise Connect, this is another area where we've connected lots of startups, and this is going to increase in volume in the next coming year, to help connect enterprises with very innovative startups. The NIP program, I wanted to talk about this. This is actually a program that we've started in the 10K program that Rajat Tandon runs. His team runs it. But the biggest benefits of this could accrue to product startups and product companies. So what we have here in the NIP program, and this is a logo sheet of the members of the NIP program. This is a very special program where we are working with the innovation officers, the corporate development folks, the corporate venture fund arms of these companies. And they've come to NASSCOM and said, we want to work with innovative startups. Can you help us by identifying startups that we can work with? Can you help program manage various activities we could do to engage with the startup ecosystem? Special program we've set up. It's now a year and a half old, doing very well. We will have almost 50 big members in this time next year. It's growing like mad, and lots of top names. You'll see in financial services. There are even more that we've signed up recently. These are all companies where if you need to get a connect in, the NIP program can help you connect into them if you have something that's relevant, that's really highly targeted at them. Here's the things that startups can gain from the NIP program. All the different pillars. I won't read them all off. You can see them quickly. And these are all on the website somewhere. But to give you, you don't have to use every one of these bubbles as a startup. You may say, I only need that, I only need that. But it's available to you from the Product Council, right? The second program I wanted to tell you about, because I don't get out to Kolkata as often, and this is an area where I'm sure many in Kolkata can contribute actually, because there's lots of design talent here. One of the areas we've identified, and if you remember the 5 pillars I showed you, skills is one, and one of the skills that we need to up level across the Indian landscape is the design skills of our product. Experience matters more today than ever before. Your out-of-box experience for a product has to be brilliant, because otherwise you're just one click away from being kind of dismissed, being deleted, being ignored. And in that kind of environment, you've got to be really have a very appealing, very attractive experience out of the box. And so we've launched this program, and in the process of actually rolling it out nationwide. It's very early still for it, is to kind of, and I'm sorry the slides have moved around a little bit, but ignore that, I think the fonts have changed a little bit. But basically to help inject design thinking very early, build those skills, build that talent pool, and ensure we build world-class products out of India. And so that's the high-level goal. We'll be working with anybody who falls in any of these bullets. So if you fall in any of these bullets, or you know somebody is, and would be interested in working with this Design for India initiative, please contact us, right? And these are the kinds of things we'll be doing in there. In terms of activities, I think it'll be a very vigorous program once it's off the ground. And I hate to announce something and not say what we're trying to achieve. What are the metrics? And we'll measure ourselves. This could well be something we don't achieve in the first year itself, but this is the kind of impact we want to have in the program. We really want to positively impact hundreds of companies, thousands of designers, and by this I mean experienced designers. This could be a UX designer, it could be somebody who's doing customer experience in a service-oriented thing in a product company. It could be somebody who's an engineer who's building better experiences under the hood, right? So it's a whole bunch of things that encapsulates. And finally, we want to recognize some great designs, product designs that are coming out of India, because we want those to be recognized. We want others to aspire to achieve that level of quality, and we want to showcase those that are the best designs to the world when we have opportunities. Lastly, I just wanted to close out by talking about a few areas. We are truly in an era and a time where everything is an opportunity. Every industry is ripe for technology injections of various kinds. Every industry is ripe for business model changes. Every industry is ripe for mobility being injected into the mix. Every industry is going to be ready for digital cash to be injected in the industry. So just a range of things, and I'm not even talking about robotics, machine learning, all kinds of augmented reality and AR, all kinds of other things that are coming up, VR and all of that's coming around the corner. In my role, I get to see so many interesting companies, and each of them is only scratching the surface of innovation across the board. Whether it's, a few days ago I was with this drone company that was doing such interesting work in drones in agriculture, right? And, just a fantastic work. Then I went across and met a robotics company that was doing amazing work in robotics, and transform how you think about manufacturing. There were so many areas like this that, it's just unbelievable. But I just wanted to point out these 7 areas that we've kind of identified, and just give you a feel for the size of the markets, right? And the size of the opportunities. And if you just look at financial inclusion, it's like, if you think about Aadhaar itself, you've got more than 1 billion now on Aadhaar. There's going to be a massive tectonic shift in the way you think about identity, how you think about your bank account, how you think about financial cash. That's just one example. You come back to health. A couple of weeks ago, I was at an event where Dr. Devi Shetty was there, and he said he expects in 5 years, every doctor in India is going to have to get a second opinion from a smartphone, an app on a smartphone. Okay? And he says in 10 years, that app will actually be the first opinion. Okay? So just to give you a feel, and this is one of India's top doctors who's saying, why? Because you have so many signals now, so many lab reports, so many different sensors. You'll be when you come into a hospital, they'll strap things on you and say, go back home and come back after 48 hours, because we'll now measure all kinds of things and we'll know better what to do. And there won't be any ambiguity. Today, if you're sick and you go to 3 doctors, more than likely you might get 3 different diagnoses. Slightly variations, unless it's something very simple, but because there's a lot of human judgment involved. And a doctor is quite a stressed person doing a lot of work. That will get quantified. They will get analytical. It will get measured. It will get instrumented. It'll be an amazing future, and all of this will happen cheap. You will not have to buy $1 million machines to do this. You will buy things that strap onto you. There are already companies in India that are building devices that are a few thousands of rupees that can take measurements that are better than machines that earlier were in the crores, right? Just to give you an example, these are the 4 or 5 different areas. Infrastructure. There's huge opportunity there. Because I keep thinking India is actually, the paradox is we in India can actually imbibe technology faster because the results of injecting technology, reducing leakage, improving efficiency, is actually much higher. The payoff is much higher. It was just that technology used to be very expensive. When you had to buy something, it was very hard to purchase, to justify the upfront cost. Second, it used to be hard to understand. But today with mobile apps, when was the last time you read a manual for a mobile app you installed? Nobody. When was the last time you hit help for your mobile app? Most people, even without knowing what Pokemon is, are starting to use it today, right? And that too immediately, and start to earn credits and pay and do things. There's nobody having to teach them. That's the beauty of these new interfaces, the new devices, and the new experiences, right? So I think it's just an awesome time to be building product across India. I think if you're an entrepreneur, please jump in and think deep. Because if you're starting out now, or if you don't already have market share, you've got to think 3 years out. You know, I don't know how many of y'all have seen the videos of surfers surfing on the big waves in Hawaii. You know, let me close with this, right? What do the best surfers do? They swim out into the ocean, they bob on their board a little bit, they let a couple of waves go by, they measure the wave they want to ride, and then they ride it into shore, right? And they look spectacular. Either they look spectacular, or what happens? They crash. And when they crash, what do? They swim again out there and pick another wave and come back out, right? Doing an entrepreneurial venture is a little bit like that. You've got to be ready to crash, but if you really want to win, you've got to pick that right wave, and you've got to be there when the wave arrives, in the head of it. None of those surfers, not the best of them, can swim to catch up with a wave. Oftentimes, entrepreneurs who are not as experienced will try to catch up with a wave. That's much harder to win like that. So what I'd say is, try to find your wave, try to figure out how to get on something that's coming, and that will be the future, and build something for that future, right? And I think the opportunity is just fantastic. I think, I myself am an entrepreneur. I hope all of you great lucks. I think it's just a fantastic time to be building something new for the Indian market, right? So good luck. Thank you very much. I hope that's helpful. And I look forward to seeing all of you at some NASSCOM event or program. Thank you.